some of us, work from home has become a way of life. For some of us, it is back to office, but with that thought at the back of your mind that you may have to move to a work from home situation at any given time. It's become flexible, it's become hybrid, but not completely yet. We are perhaps in that in-between stage. And an interesting report out today from JLL is telling us what people are thinking, at least corporate employees. So this survey shows that 79% of employees who were surveyed, which was about 300, want a work from home at least once a week. And if you ask how many want flexible hours, it goes up to 91%. You also have most people who want a balance. That is, they want to work from home 2 times a week, go into office 3 times a week, or the other way around. So are we going to be seeing a situation where we are largely, not working from home full time, nor are we going into office all the time? Is a hybrid work environment here to stay? To speak on this, I'm joined now by Sashi Kumar of Indeed and Rituparna of Teamlease. Welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us today on the India Development Debate. Ritu, let me start by getting your take. We've spoken about this a few times in the past, but it's an evolving situation. After the second wave, those who were planning to call people back to office had to postpone it. Globally, large tech companies have pushed their work from home deadlines much further. From this survey, it seems that a lot of people are also getting sick of working from home constantly. They now want a balance.
Yeah, I think one of the things pandemic has taught us, Tamanna, is that we should not make these sensational forecasts about anything. So I think while at the moment there is a sense of extreme fatigue working from home, which is settling down amongst most people. And I think the realization that while the flexibility, the optionality, the call option is a great thing to have, but there is a reason why workplace is a workplace and home is a home, and this convergence is not really mentally fulfilling for many people. So hence, I think from an infrastructure and a capability perspective, most organizations have the ability to do remote work, but I think it's slowly becoming apparent that it's taking, it is not, from a social capital perspective, there has been massive erosion, and which can sometimes, which is probably now beginning to impact the non-cognitive elements, which are so much required for organizations to grow, to innovate, to collaborate. And I think all of that is now showing signs. Of course, the issue with most organizations is that we are not still out of this, the waves. And hence, organizations are caught between the need for investing in social capital as well as the need for keeping employees safe, and not essentially plunging into a decision which cannot be overturned, maybe, if the situation so arises. So it is a situation where nobody is able to commit, and hence my hunch is that organization will continue to take a hybrid approach. They will welcome employees back, whoever wants to come to workplaces, to come back to the workplaces. However, they will give them the option of choosing to work from home, maybe 2 days a week, maybe 1.5 days a week, maybe 3 days a week. So I think that is essentially where I feel most of corporate India is, wherever you can afford this model. Of course, large part of India still needs to work from their workplaces. I think almost 85% of Indian workforce today has to work on site or on ground or are outbound in nature. But the ones who can afford, more and more organizations are veering towards a hybrid, open, flexible model. So workplaces are available, walk in if you feel like.
Yeah. So, like we said, this is restricted to corporate employees. Clearly, it is not the standard if you look at the average of Indian workers overall. But it's interesting in what those readings are from this survey I was talking about. So 41% of the workforce is craving real human interaction with colleagues. Health and well-being has assumed greater importance. Need to connect with colleagues is a priority now over purpose in the job and visibility. And empathetic employers and work-life balance has become a bigger priority than a high salary even. Coffee, socializing, people are missing those things, but don't necessarily think they are required for them to function. Sashi Kumar, how does this translate into hiring trends and into what job seekers are looking for?
Yeah, so data on job searches sort of bear what the survey says. From March 2020 to August 2021, we've seen a 644% increase in searches for work from home jobs. But having said that, from our Indeed hiring tracker data, we are seeing that a lot of people prefer to work hybrid. Almost 42% of job seekers that we surveyed said they would prefer to work in a hybrid model where they are able to come into office for a few days and work from home for a few days. And like both of you said, this option isn't available for everybody. I mean, you've got huge number of people that are working retail, huge number of people who are working banks, etc., who will need to be at the workplace, even within corporate India, and not necessarily outside the, not even outside for blue collar workers. Even within white collar workers, there are many roles that will need people to come into office. But having said that, there is a huge number of people that work in roles where they're employed with companies that can afford to give employees a choice, and they will. The way I see it is, it panning out is that a lot of companies that are able to offer this to employees will divide their roles. Even within companies that are able to do this, you'll have a set of roles that will need people to be in office every day. There'll be a set of roles where the employees have a choice to either work full-time or come for a couple of days or 3 days or 2 days. And there'll be a bunch of roles where employees can choose to work from home all the time or completely work remote, depending on the kind of work they do. So we will see more and more companies making these offers to their employees where they are able to give them flexibility in case the roles allow for flexibility, and if the company itself is in a sector that is able to sustain this model. But interesting times, I think how companies offer their employees flexibility will determine how they are able to hire effectively for best talent, and also shape the future of work.
Yeah. But Mr. Kumar, are companies now using this work from home flexibility as a bargaining tool when it comes to remuneration? You can have that flexibility, but we'll pay you less. Or putting in a premium for those who are willing to come in and work on site?
So not necessarily in that way. A lot of companies are asking their remote employees who may be moving to a destination which is less expensive. They're asking people to take lesser pay. This is more sort of prominent in the United States, where if your role is based out of New York and you're going to work out of a state which is a lot less expensive than New York, then it is expected that you will be paid less. We will see that happening in India as well. But if you continue to live and operate within the city where your role is, I do not see this being done by many good companies. In fact, a lot of companies are offering stipends to employees to enable them to work from home. Please do remember, this also means a lot of benefits for the companies, their ability to have a flexible workplace, their ability to make savings in a lot of other, in other ways will also come into play because of their ability to offer flexible options to the employees.
Yeah. Ritu, from the company's perspective, how does this work out? You have a hybrid workplace. That means you rent as big an office which can accommodate everyone in case everyone decides to come in and work, from office. So you just keep empty seats as a choice for employees to come in? Is that going to be sustainable for mid-sized companies beyond a point? And will this move towards a hybrid workspace cause companies to also rejig the way they plan their office spaces?
There will be definitely recalibration in terms of how office spaces will be assigned and how much will be retained and how much they would let go of. So if you're investing in a hybrid model, no matter how deep your pockets are, it just doesn't make any sense to kind of keep maintaining such infrastructure on an ongoing basis and have empty seats. So what we will see is that organizations will move to better scheduling of employees coming into office. There will be rotations that will be happening. Also, if let's say the purpose of coming to office is more collaboration, just bonding, teamwork, catch-ups, then the office infrastructure, the way their designs are also likely to change. So you will see more breakout rooms rather than space assigned for cubicles or workstations or cabins and stuff like that. I do believe that office designs will undergo a significant change in the days to come, and which essentially would mean that organization will come out with optimal plans around real estate, around all kinds of costs that are currently being incurred in terms of maintaining these real estate. So they will not do away completely with offices, but they definitely will run with much more optimized spaces. There is also a possibility that if many of their employees, again, depending upon sectors and functions that they are looking at, where employees are going to work remotely. So there is a possibility that few of the offices will move away from the cities and closer to some of these hubs where the talents actually reside. So you might see that organizations will reduce, let's say, some office space in Bangalore where they had large campuses or their large offices, and have smaller in, let's say, in some of the more middle-sized cities, maybe in some parts of Kerala or Tamil Nadu. Just I'm talking from a southern landscape. And similarly, it can happen in northern India. As people might set up an office in a Nagpur or whatever. I'm saying that there is a possibility that there could be a rejig of real estate. Right now, it's very concentrated around metros, which are supposed to be the job magnets. But they will have smaller cohorts of offices where people can just come and chat and then get together and stuff like that. So these are some of the possibilities that are something that we should look out for.
So sort of
for employees, for corporate employees, at least in some sectors and jobs, it's been a situation never seen before where you can actually choose and you can actually convey that you want a hybrid kind of model, work-life balance, which was a completely sometimes taboo word if you wanted to succeed in the Indian corporate space, is definitely back on the table. And I think that is one silver lining that we can take away from the pandemic. Thank you so much, Sashi and Ritu, for joining us on the chat this evening.